In this session, I want to take a little bit of time talking about how we can evaluate assessment reports, departmental assessment reports. So again, you're going to get two assessment reports from various departments in the College of Arts and Sciences here at Bethel. And you're going to go through and use this rubric that you see here and work through and actually evaluate these assessment reports. So let's take a little bit of time talking about the different elements of this rubric that you're going to focus on to look at for these reports. The first part, you're going to look at the outcomes or the objectives that they have for the department. You'll see here this rubric's set up a little bit differently compared to other rubrics, and I'll be interested in your feedback on that, your discussion in the forum. And so you can go through here and see, do they have observable and measurable outcomes? Are they using action verbs from Bloom's taxonomy? And we'll go through those in a little bit. Say it in a way that the readers can understand, manageable number of outcomes. So some programs will have, they'll try to put in 50 outcomes, and sometimes you'll see that in professional programs, but that makes no sense for an assessment report. Again, it doesn't fit. It's not doable. It's not durable. So usually you want to take and fold those into something that's about maybe 7 outcomes. 5 to 7 outcomes are typically seen as best for a program. And then, do the outcomes actually focus on student learning? So is it really about what students will do and what they will learn, or is it about content that's going to be covered? If it's about content, that's problematic. What we care about are what are the students going to learn. So you got the outcomes that you're going to go through and evaluate on. You have the measures. Are they using authentic measures? So are they using things from the classroom, things that they actually write? Oftentimes, the embedded assessment within courses is the best route to go. In my discipline in psychology, actually assessing the research projects that students do and that they perform on is a great authentic assessment. It's exactly what graduate schools would want to see that they're able to do, and we can walk through rubrics with them rather than their perception about how they've gained, let's say, in critical thinking or the understanding of the scientific process, to see them actually do that. So the first part of actually doing the project and writing up the report or creating a poster is the direct assessment. The asking them their impressions about how much they've gained in terms of their critical thinking is the indirect assessment. That doesn't mean the indirect can't be valuable at all. But between the two, what we're really looking for are direct measures of assessment. So you've got the different measures that are here, or I mean that category of measures that you can look at. And then the process for data presentation to the faculty and discussion by faculty. So really is their examination of the evidence. Probably really one of the most important things in assessment, one of the biggest things I push departments on and programs on, is for them to take time to discuss things as a department. That's where changes are most likely to take place. So sometimes they get too bogged down in all the data collection. It's much better for departments and programs to spend time discussing the results. What is it that they're actually seeing? And that's why the embedded assessments end up being so important. What are you actually seeing in your classroom? And what are we seeing as the strengths and weaknesses of the students on their products? And what changes does it look like we need to make? And then the last part, that actions part. And again, the action are much more likely to take place if the department is actually spending some time discussing the assessment results. So you'll each be given 2 departmental assessment reports to evaluate. And so, here's an example from the art department, and as I pull this up, what I also want to highlight to students in this class is that I'm giving you actual things to work with. These are from actual departments here at Bethel. So it's really important that we keep this information confidential. You should really only be talking about this within the class and not talking about it with people outside of the class. So In this, you'll be able to see the different learning outcomes that they have listed. Here's an example where you look through and you say, all of these don't seem to fit, what we really, how we really want the learning outcomes to be written. So here's to where you can go through the review function in Word and type in your response for each one of them. So if you've got a comment, to type in that comment for them as to what it is that you think they maybe should do differently. Remember, you're giving feedback to the department, so try to couch this in a way that's more positive and more encouraging. So you'll see you'll have the learning outcomes to go through. You'll have how is it that they're measuring each of these, and so look through we've got these reports as streamlined as a means so that the departments actually turn them in. And so from that, sometimes you'll feel like there's some missing information, and so it's okay to put in your comments about it. I wonder what this really looks like, or what the evidence really is. That's okay to put in there in terms of the comments that you have there. And then you'll see for them the evaluation of the results. How do they go about, do they spend time talking about these? How often do they talk about it? And so here you have an example that they spend they do this 4 times or more during the year, which is really excellent for a department to do. And then you have the revelations from their discussions, and then their actions based off of this. And so you're to take the rubric and go through and score the assessment reports, and then also in the assessment reports, like I was saying before, put in your comments as well using the review function in Word.